Welcome to a new video. Every year I make a new palette for Pride Month. I am all about celebrating our LGBTQ friends and family, and this is how I do it in my small little way. I really try not to partake in rainbow consumerism, but I still want to show love to the people that I love. So today we are going to go through all of my single shadows and we are going to create a Pride palette. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Rachel. I'm disabled. I'm neurodivergent. I'm an artist. I love makeup. I love color stories. I love rainbows. And we're going to just lean into that today and we're going to have some fun and put together a great big palette of beautiful eyeshadows. So let's do it. Okay, quick look at what we have to work with. This is the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. It's beautiful. I don't know how much we're gonna find in here to work with, but it's always a good place to start. We then have the packaging from the Natasha Denona Lila palette, and in here are a bunch of shadows that I have used for previous Pride palettes and that are still good and they're still functional, and we'll look into using some of these. I have these. Aww. These are my babies. These are my Clionadh Cosmetics stained glass multi-chrome eyeshadows. That's the word. And they are gorgeous. They don't get enough play in my collection, which makes me sad. I really need to focus on that. So we're going to try and pull as many of these into this rainbow as possible. And then we have these. This palette system, this system of single shadows has really shrunk in the last 3 years. I've been getting rid of more than I've been bringing in, which makes me so happy. It really does. I can look at this and easily identify the handful of shadows I want to pull. So let's start with this, and then we'll move on and figure out what's in the other palettes I want. So this purple called Farmer's Market, I want it. This is Transmutation. It's this blue, purple, shifty gorgeousness. I like using peaches instead of a yellow because I don't know if y'all can tell, I don't have yellows. Yellows are not a brand of beast that I like to keep around specifically for this experiment, specifically for this project every year. I don't feel it necessary. This is Alpha from Luxie. Ironically enough, I'm okay keeping this around, but I don't want to keep yellows. I don't know. I'm weird. This yellow, or this green, absolutely stunning. Like a darkened chartreuse. Lounge from Urban Decay, of course. Misfit from Luxie. And I think this is Tinsel. I don't know. It was limited edition from Clionadh. It was part of a little holiday trio that they released. Mr. Sandman. So this is Mr. Sandman from ColourPop. And honestly, I like the idea of putting it in here with the purples to help bridge the gap, because we do want to wrap back around to pink, and then from pink it shifts to red. All right, I have a couple over here that I want to pull. This red, this strawberry red that I've already hit pan on, I love this red. This is from Flower Beauty. It's from the Jungle Lights collection. Yeah, it's from the Jungle Lights palette, and I use it a lot. Granted, I haven't been wearing eyeshadow much lately, so a lot is subjective. So these two are both dupes for Lounge. This is Nirvana from Luxie, and this is Wishful Winking from ColourPop. Both of those are going to stay in because I pulled out the OG. Listen to me talking like the youths. Let's pull out this purple, also from ColourPop, not ColourPop, Flower Beauty. We then have this green and this blue, both of which I hung on to for the express purpose of building this palette to see if they would work in, because I don't have like a true rich cerulean royal blue like this. The same with this green. These are kind of both Crayola crayon colors, and I would not reach for those on a normal basis, but we'll see if they work in this palette, and if they don't, I'm going to declutter them. I'm going to be ricious. So I love working these really interesting shifty flakies in, because these are so easy to layer to alter a look. All right, so I'm pulling out these shifties. This one's Bowling Alley. I pulled out As the World Falls Down. I pulled Long Farewell. Do I want to pull Space Cowboy? You know what? I really don't, because it doesn't do much to alter the color. It doesn't do much to really bring out a color. If anything, it's got a base color that is going to interfere. This is a peach from the Orange Blossom Trio by Kaja. I believe this is Tree Skirt. It's also part of that holiday collection from Clionadh. You know, I think I am good with this grouping of shadows. Let us move on. Honestly, I think I just want to pop all of these out and swatch them again, because I haven't used these in a while and I kind of forget how some of them shift. So we're going to have a little Clionadh swatch party. So these are all of my gorgeous, precious Clionadh babies. All right, I hope you are settled in, have a drink, have a snack. You know, maybe you're doing some work, but we're gonna start with the purples and we'll go backwards. Why? Because I'm gonna start with this one. This is Vault. Climbing Vine. Shard. Tracery, which is just like neon, vibrant purple. Every now and then I need to pull things out and just swatch them so that they find a place in my Mind Palace. This is Redox. Bloodline. This is one of my favorite Clionadh shadows. It really is. It's so pretty. It can be a topper. It can be worn by itself. It can be really amped up, or it can be layered very softly. And it is just so special. Grisaille, one of the first Clionadh shadows I got. I think this was my second order. And as you can see, I have pan. I have pan in a Clionadh shadow. And no, it doesn't make me sad. It makes me very happy. Medieval, this was one of the first. This and Mosaic. Look at how rich that is. Oh, I love it. Abrasion. I love these shadows. I wish I had it in my mind to use them more. Royal Plum. All right, so let's take a moment and pull the ones that I think are going to be either really unique in a rainbow palette or just supportive. I have to pull Tracery. I'm going to pull Abrasion. Medieval. I think I want Vault because it bridges this nice little bit of purpley rosiness to red. And we're going to want that. Anything else that is just like absolutely screaming out to me that it must be included. Shard. I already have Medieval, and I feel like Medieval is going to be better for what I'm looking for. I'm going to clean this off and we'll start over with the next grouping. All right, let's pull, I'm going to pull the like greens, but also like greeny browns. I don't know, just Chalice is green. Opulent, I don't know where it fits, so it'll go in with this grouping. It's one of those that is just so ambiguous. It doesn't really have a base color. Yeah, we'll go ahead and pull in these iridescents and get a good look at those as well. Might as well start with these three. First one is Adornment. Lightfast. Gloaming. All right, let's go Opulent next. What color is that? I don't know. It's weird. It's beige. It's a multi-chrome beige. It's the darndest thing. All right, what's this? Archway. I'd forgotten how much I liked using Archway. This is why I do the swatching and the playing and the building of palettes, because I then remember that I had I have an eyeshadow that I really love and haven't been using because I've forgotten about it. I mean, look at this. None of these eyeshadows really has a base color. They're all so ambiguous. They're kind of shrouded in mystery. Oh, I think it's so cool. It's so cool. Solder. Wall of Ivy. This is the Clionadh version of Urban Decay Lounge. So that's Lounge. That's the Clionadh version. It's not as dark, it's a little brighter, but it's got similar base notes. All about the base. All right, what are you? Ferric, which I keep wanting to call Feral. Not Will Ferrell either. And this is one of those weird shifties because it's pink gold in the camera, but on my arm, it's a grassy green. And that's what makes putting multi-chromes in a rainbow palette so weird. Line of Queens. Line of Queens and Ferric could basically be the same eyeshadow. Bronze Fountain. This is one that I loved when I got home with it. You can see that it's relatively native to my skin tone, but it's brighter and it's got that orange yellow thing. Dying. And last but not least is Chalice. All right. I think I want to include Wall of Ivy. Chalice. How do I feel about these? Honestly, you know what? I just want to put these top 5 into a small palette and have those to play with all on their own. Okay. Where are we going? I am good with what I have selected from this grouping, so I'm going to put these away and we'll keep going. All right, I think we need to split this grouping into at least 2. I don't think any more than 2. So I'm going to pull out the ones that are a little more red, and then we'll go on to the like bronzy, peachy, orangey shades. There's actually not that many reds in here. All right, I think those are the ones that count as like reds. So let's move on to oranges. All right, so I've split these up into groups of 8. We're going to start with pinks and we will work our way down to oranges. I do want to make sure I include pinks, roses, you know, the in-between colors of the rainbow. So we think of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, but there are so many shades in between, depending on the saturation of chroma, depending on the depth, the contrast, all of that. So this is Dragantini. This is from the Dragon Fruit palette, as is this. We'll get to that one in the next batch. So this one has a green-orange flip. And in all honesty, I don't use the bright pink ones that often. Boss, maybe I should make it a project to try to use my Clionadh shadows more. Signet. Torch. Mosaic. Flare. Kiln Light. And Coronation. There you go. Okay. So let's figure out what from this grouping I would like to include. I do want to include Signet. It's bright, it's pink, it's a little different, but I think it has a place. Torch and Mosaic. I think I'm gonna include Torch and not Mosaic because they are pretty similar, but Torch just has a little bit more presence. I really want to include Flare, but it's got this orange to green, and it just kind of jumps over everything in between. I don't think there's a place in this palette for it. Coronation, I definitely want to include. It is the truest orange that I have. Kiln Light, I don't know. I'm okay passing on that one. Emboss or Dragontini? Dragontini. I like that Emboss is completely different from Signet, which I already have included. Emboss has like this blue shift base. It's also getting a little bit of hard pan. I can clean that up with some Scotch tape. But yeah, Coronation and Emboss are going to be included in this little grouping. All right. All right. So we have this last grouping, which is just kind of an amalgam of everything else. We've got these peachy iridescents. We've got some purples. I don't even know what this is. It's more bright pink. So let's start with that. We'll start with the depth and then we'll work to the lightest. This is Cinder. I knew somebody who had a dog named Cinder. A little black Labradoodle, I think. This is Smolder Light. So it doesn't have that black backing, which is great because that black backing on me just looks ashy and weird. Roseline. Which does have a little bit more darkness, a little bit more depth than I would like. Trinket. I love Trinket. Trinket is a fabulous neutral multichrome, but it's still like there. It still has some presence. Blaze. Another gorgeous peachy, yellowy orange. Palace. This is a weird one. It looks beige to gold, but on camera it is bright pink. It's really interesting. Scepter. I like Scepter a lot. It's a relatively straightforward multichrome, if there is such a thing. And this is Effervescence, which is also from the Dragon Fruit palette. And it's just a really beautiful champagne-y gold. But it's not too gold. Okay. Let us look at these. I do want to include Cinder. It's so unique that it will really punch up these pinks and give us the ability to flip back around to the reds. Where are we starting with these peaches? Oh, I want to use Roseline too, because it'll help bridge from the purples to the pinks. Palace, I think, is going to be too hard to work with because it's got such a vibrant pink shift. Blaze and Scepter, I can definitely work with. Trinket and Smolder Light, I think, are just going to be a little too hard to work with. They're going to be hard to figure out a place for. Effervescent, I'm not going to use because I'm already using Scepter and they're so similar. All right, we're going to put these back and then go through the rest of the shadows that I pulled out. I also need to look at my Natasha Denona palettes. So this palette has a couple that I usually go for. It's got this really lovely red. It's like true purple. And you'll notice I'm not pulling in mattes. I don't want mattes in this palette. If I need a matte, I can reach for a matte eyeshadow. I can reach for a face powder. They don't need to be included in this palette. I am going to pop this one. Excuse me. I'm going to pop this one out. I don't know if it's actually going to get used, but it's always worth checking. And normally I would dive into this orange, which is Invention. But I know I have really beautiful oranges here that are going to be better, and I'm not going to waste my time pulling from this palette. Okay, the Clionadh shadows, that decision has been made. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing that we did with the last batch. Y'all aren't in yet. We still need to audition you. So reds. I'm going to line these up in color families. When I was a kid, all I ever wanted to draw was rainbows. I loved rainbows. I still do. Oh, I should not have pulled transmutation. Well, maybe I should have. I'll leave it in and we'll look at it. All right, let's do some swatching and figure out where things belong and if they actually belong in this palette. Okay. Gorgeous, amazing, perfect. She looks like Linda Evangelista. This beautiful red from Natasha Denona. I have so few reds that I know when I go for them that they're gonna make it into the palette. There's no question in my mind. So this Natasha Denona shade, this orange, is losing some of its spunk. I'm gonna keep it, but I'm gonna keep an eye on it also. It feels like it's starting to degrade a little bit. This little orange fellow from the Orange Blossom Trio. This is why I didn't pull the orange from the My Dream palette, because I knew I had this. I also have a couple oranges from Clionadh. This is a bit of a maudlin peach. How do I feel about this? It's not super vibrant, but it could work nicely as a base shade and then build on top of it. I like that idea. Okay. Painted Lady from Color Pop. This is another one that feels like maybe it might be starting to go off. Kiss Me from Copacetic. It's that absolutely gorgeous flaky formula that just gets everywhere if you're not careful. Tinsel from Clionadh. This was part of that holiday trio that I keep mentioning. It's a really unique green. Rockstar from Luxie. Look at that green. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Now, we'll see if this holds up in comparison. This is from the Stone Vibes palette from Urban Decay. I don't think it stands up to anything else. Anything here. It's gonna go. Lounge from Urban Decay. All right, I think we're gonna stop at Lounge. Let's move these over and we'll make decisions about these. I think I kicked out the one that maybe doesn't work, which is that Urban Decay shadow. I think the rest of these are great. I think the rest of these work. Like, you can see this rainbow progression. Okay. Let's start with the blues. This is from Misfit. This is Misfit from Luxie. Their formulas have this really interesting range. Like, this shadow is much more dense, where this one has a lot more translucency to it. They're bananas and they're beautiful. I don't think Luxie gets enough love in the indie makeup community. Alpha. There are some indie brands that I have yet to explore. I would like to do that sometime in the near future. Okay, this is another blue from Urban Decay. You know what? This one actually does stand up. It's not as thin, and it's got a lot more pigment to it than the green one. All right, Long Farewell. This is a flaky. It's really, really pretty. It's got these thick flakies that really throw the light. Transmutation. This is again, oh, Long Farewell, Transmutation, and Farmer's Market. These next three are all from Copacetic. Fun. I like that very much, Lee. I think I can fit 5 more on my arm. Mr. Sandman from ColourPop. I really like this shadow. It's got a bit of a purple base, but it's still very skin native. It's weird. I love it. Flower Beauty. This is from one of the Jungle Lights. This is from the Jungle Lights palette. I saw that she had that Flower Beauty, and she being Drew Barrymore, has brought out like 3 more of those palettes. One is the Jungle Lights. There's also a Desert Lights, which I had, and I have a couple shadows from that. But I think she's got like Seaside and something else, but I'm not interested in any of them. They look so similar. All right, so that last one was the one I pulled from the Lila palette from Natasha Denona. This is As the World Falls Down, also that really flaky formula. Look at that. Look at that. That is the beautiful flakiness. Drool. All right. I don't think Bowling Alley is going to work. It's going to be difficult to work with these shifts. So I'm not going to include Bowling Alley. Do any of these give me pause? No, they don't turn me into a cat. They don't give me pause. I made a funny. I think they're all staying. They're all so different. And once I get these organized by color and mixed in with the Clionadh shadows, we will then swatch the entire palette together. All right, I am going to assemble these into the facsimile of a rainbow order, and then we'll move along from there. I don't think I want more than like 6 shades per color story. So 6 shadows here for the purples. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to look at Vault and Mr. Sandman together because I feel like they can be pretty similar. I'm going to zoom you back in. Obviously, I feel like Mr. Sandman is going to be a little easier to work with, but I also want to look at that against that purple from Flower and Vault from Clionadh. All right, I think Vault is going to go back in the Vault, and that is going to leave us with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm okay with 7. So I sit down and swatch out the entire palette. If there are any that are too similar, I'm okay with kicking them out. What are we doing with Mr. Sandman? We're going to leave him in. So blues, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I have 5 greens. Now, the problem comes when I get up here. There's Torch, this strawberry red, and this red. Those are the only 3 reds that I have. The rest of these are all oranges and peaches. So we're going to swatch these all side by side by side and figure out which ones I want to kick out, because I need to kick out a couple. All right, let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Given that I have so few reds, I'm okay padding out this category just a bit. Orange from Natasha Denona. Blaze from Clionadh. Coronation, Clionadh. I love that shadow. It's so vibrant. Kiss Me from Copacetic. That's pretty. That's pretty. This is again that orange from the Orange Blossom Trio. Painted Lady, ColourPop. Scepter. And then this is another shade from that amalgam of the Lila palette. All right, so let me see if I have any thoughts right away. I think Kiss Me is just a little too shifty to work with the color story that I'm after. So we're going to kick her out. So that takes us down to 7. Okay, so with these 2 staying in, I don't think Painted Lady really has a place. No, I'm good with that. Okay, so that gets us down to 6. I'm better with that, especially given how small our grouping of reds is. All right, moving right along. Okay, This is what we've got thus far. I'm going to grab a palette and then we'll swatch and make any additional changes. And I think our rainbow palette is done. All right, folks, there she is. I think she's lovely. What I find interesting is no matter how many times I go through the same collection of eyeshadows, I always end up with a different rainbow every time. It's fascinating. All right, this looks good. Let's swatch it. right, friends. Well, there we have it. It's really pretty, shifty, shiny, gorgeous rainbow palette. I am excited to play with this in the coming weeks and see where it gets me. Okay, y'all, that will do it for today's video. This is the finished palette. That's me. I don't look great today. I think it's beautiful. I am just thrilled with how this came out. Thank you for joining me today. I greatly appreciate it. I hope you are taking care of yourselves so you can take care of each other. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye, friends.